Meghan Markle is reportedly losing her mind because the one thing she spent years trying to prevent has finally happened. The very book she tried to bury, the one her legal team spent months attempting to discredit, has just claimed the #1 spot on Amazon. And the fallout. It's proving to be a nightmare she can't wake up from. Tom Bower's latest investigative masterpiece, Betrayal, isn't just another royal biography. It is a meticulous, well-sourced demolition of the Sussex brand that is currently dominating global headlines. For months, the strategy from the Montecito camp was clear: call it deranged, call it a conspiracy, and hope it disappears. But in a twist of irony that would make a Hollywood screenwriter cringe, their public outrage didn't silence the critics. It gave them a global megaphone. Now, the woman who once occupied the highest levels of the British monarchy finds herself trending for all the wrong reasons, as the public devours every well-sourced detail she tried to keep under lock and key. The real sting here isn't just the sales numbers. It's the shift in the global mood. Reports from within the couple's inner circle suggest that Meghan is absolutely furious, not just at the author, but at the realization that her influence is rapidly waning. She previously labeled the work a collection of melodrama and unreliable fiction, but the market has spoken. When a book ranks that high, it means the public is hungry for a version of the story that doesn't come from a polished PR firm in California. Tom Bower, a man who has built a career on dismantling the egos of the world's most powerful people, isn't backing down. In fact, he's doing the one thing that drives Meghan the most crazy: he's thanking her. He's been vocal about how her legal threats and public statements acted as the ultimate marketing campaign. Every time her team called the book poisonous, the sales numbers spiked by double digits. It seems Meghan inadvertently became the most effective salesperson for her own biggest critic. But the success of the book is just the surface of a much deeper, more chaotic reality. The ground is shifting beneath the Sussexes' feet in a way they never anticipated when they stepped off that plane in 2020. For a long time, they lived in a sort of delusional fantasy where they could have the prestige of the crown without the restrictions of the institution. They thought they could be royals 2.0, global philanthropists with Hollywood paychecks. That fantasy is currently meeting a very harsh, very expensive reality. Sources close to the situation claim that the Sussex brand is no longer the golden ticket it was 3 years ago. The facts are becoming harder to manage, and the truth that Meghan has worked so hard to curate is being picked apart by journalists who aren't afraid of a cease and desist letter. This loss of control is what's truly driving the panic. When your entire identity is based on controlling the narrative, what happens when the world stops listening to your version and starts looking for the receipts? The desperation is starting to show in the way they handle their public appearances. Instead of the high-level diplomatic tours they once envisioned, we're seeing a pivot toward more commercial, almost pay-to-play style engagements. Take the recent buzz around the Australian wellness retreat. This wasn't a royal tour. It was a business transaction. People were reportedly being asked to pay upwards of $3,000 just for the chance to be in the same room as the Duchess. This move has been widely criticized as a bizarre health farm encounter, and it marks a significant step down from the global stage they once occupied. It's a transition from royal prestige to commercial survival, and it's a move that many royal experts believe signals the beginning of the end for their status. But that wasn't the only shocker waiting for them across the pond. What makes the Australian situation even more shocking is the resistance they're meeting from the public. A petition with over 35,000 signatures has been circulating, demanding that not a single cent of taxpayer money be spent on their security or logistics. The message from the Australian public is loud and clear: if you're here for a private business venture, you pay the bill. This is a far cry from their 2018 tour, where they were greeted with massive crowds and Sussex mania. Back then, the Australian public didn't know the real Meghan. Today, critics are using terms like gold-digging grifter and relevance deprivation syndrome to describe their latest moves. It's a rebranding that Meghan certainly didn't plan for, and one that's proving incredibly difficult to shake off. While Meghan focuses on rebuilding her image, rumors are swirling that she might be looking for a more permanent upgrade in her personal life. Some of the most controversial speculation coming out of the Bower camp suggests that the marriage itself might be reaching a breaking point. The narrative is shifting from a united front to what some call a professional separation. We've seen them attending events separately more often, pursuing individual projects that have nothing to do with each other. But the most explosive claim is that Meghan is already eyeing a future that doesn't involve a prince. There's talk of her seeking out a US billionaire, someone with the kind of old money and political clout that can sustain the lifestyle she's become accustomed to. It's a pattern some observers claim they've seen before, referencing how she allegedly handled her previous relationship with Trevor Engelson. If these rumors are even half true, it suggests that the fairy tale was always a stepping stone to something much larger. The financial pressure behind these decisions cannot be overstated. Living the life of a global royal in the middle of California is an astronomically expensive endeavor. Between the mortgage on their $14 million Montecito mansion and the millions spent annually on private security, the burn rate of their capital is terrifying. They walked away from the royal family to gain financial independence, but they quickly learned that independence comes with a massive bill. Their huge deals with Netflix and Spotify, once expected to be their long-term financial safety net, haven't delivered the stability they had hoped for. Some projects were heavily criticized by critics. Others were quietly shelved, and the Spotify deal ended in a very public and embarrassing grifter accusation from a top executive. Now, the Netflix deal is set to expire in late 2026, and rumors suggest it won't be renewed at the same massive price point. They're facing a financial cliff, and the ground is falling fast. And what happened next would shock even their most loyal supporters. As the money runs out, the strategy has shifted from impact to survival. Meghan Markle has reportedly been studying the Kardashian business blueprint, analyzing how Kris Jenner built a multi-billion-dollar empire from pure visibility. She's no longer looking to just be a duchess, she wants to be a mogul. Her new lifestyle brand, as ever, is her attempt to pivot into the world of gourmet spreads, curated homeware, and luxury wellness. But even here, the road is rocky. Reports have surfaced of hundreds of thousands of unsold units, candles, teas, and fruit spreads, sitting in warehouses. The transition from royal royalty to retail royalty isn't as easy as she thought. The public might be curious about her life, but that doesn't mean they're ready to buy a $30 jar of jam from someone they perceive as out of touch. This brings us to the Birmingham Gambit. Prince Harry has been pushing hard for the Invictus Games to be held in the UK in 2027. On the surface, it's a noble cause supporting wounded veterans, but many see a hidden agenda. Hosting a major event in Britain would force the royal family's hand. It creates what experts call a reconciliation trap. If the King and the Prince William don't show up, they appear unsupportive of the military. If they do, it gives Harry and Meghan the Royal Association photos they desperately need to stay relevant in the US market. It's a calculated move to borrow the prestige of the monarchy one more time to boost their commercial value. However, the King is known for being cautious, and William is reportedly even more firm. The trust has been so thoroughly damaged by interviews and memoirs that a simple photo opportunity may not be enough to repair it. The rift between the brothers is perhaps the most tragic part of this entire saga. Tom Bower's book revisits some of the most intense moments of this conflict, including the infamous finger in the face incident. It's alleged that during a tense meeting shortly after the honeymoon, Meghan snapped at Prince William, telling him to get his finger out of her face. This wasn't just a minor disagreement. It was, reportedly, a turning point for the future king. William had harbored doubts about the relationship long before the engagement, and those doubts have only deepened over the years. He sees the exploitation of the royal brand for commercial gain as an unforgivable betrayal of the institution he will one day lead. And that day may be coming sooner than expected, putting a real clock on the Sussexes' titles. There is a growing chorus calling for King Charles to strip the Duke and Duchess of their titles. While the King prefers to avoid direct confrontation, Prince William is expected to take a much firmer stance when he becomes monarch. If Meghan continues to monetize the title through controversial ventures, she could find herself simply known as Meghan Markle again. Losing those titles would be a devastating blow to their brand. Without the Duchess prefix, invitations to elite circles, billionaire summits and political gatherings could start to disappear. The royal label is what sets them apart from other celebrities, and without it, their brand value could decline significantly. But Meghan Markle is nothing if not resilient. She is reportedly holding back one final asset, her own tell-all memoir. If Prince Harry's book Spare was a grenade, Meghan's memoir could be a nuclear-level revelation. Journalists like Tom Bower warn that such a book could pose one of the greatest modern threats to the monarchy. A narrative told entirely from her perspective, unfiltered and driven by personal experience, could create significant waves. It acts as a kind of insurance policy, ensuring that she remains a figure the palace must monitor. However, as public fatigue with ongoing drama grows, even a tell-all might not have the same impact it once would have. Audiences are beginning to tune out repetitive narratives, and a major reveal could be met with indifference. The shift from royal prestige to commercial survival has been rapid and visible. The very things meant to bring freedom, media deals, a California lifestyle, and distance from the palace, have instead become constraints of a different kind. They now appear caught in a cycle where controversy keeps them relevant, and relevance keeps the business alive. Tom Bower's book reaching #1 is just a symptom of a larger issue. The public is no longer buying the fairy tale, they're watching a high-stakes drama unfold. Even their staff appear to be stepping away. In late 2025 and early 2026, several key team members, including their chief US publicist and the executive director of the Archewell Foundation, reportedly left. When those managing your image begin to leave, it often signals deeper instability. The growing professional separation between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, with Harry focusing on Invictus and Meghan on her lifestyle brand, is presented as strategy, but many interpret it as division. They appear to be pursuing separate paths, surrounded by different circles and priorities. In the end, their story is becoming a cautionary tale about fame versus duty. They sought independence on their own terms, but those terms have proven more demanding than expected. As the 2026 Netflix deadline approaches and public interest shifts toward unfiltered narratives, Meghan Markle faces a critical decision. Will she double down on her business ambitions and follow the path of Kris Jenner? Or will she release the memoir that could redefine her legacy and potentially impact the monarchy? The story is far from over, but maintaining relevance is becoming increasingly difficult. Whether she's planning new ventures or personal changes, the stakes remain high. Do you think the Duchess regrets her public battles with critics? Or is this part of a larger strategy? The truth may be that the most dramatic chapters are yet to come. For now, the royal dream appears to be unraveling in real time, and the world is watching closely. As 2027 approaches and the potential Birmingham moment looms, one thing is clear: the pressure is no longer on the monarchy. It is now entirely on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to prove they are more than headlines. With financial pressures mounting and institutional support gone, the coming months may define their future. They aim to become global icons, but risk becoming a footnote in a story defined by betrayal. The rise of Tom Bower's book reflects a shift in public interest, from admiration to fascination with controversy. They have become one of the most talked about narratives in the world. And in media, when attention fades, relevance often follows. Meghan Markle may be fighting to redefine her narrative, but critics are already speculating about the final chapter. The only question left is who will remain standing when the story ends. The billionaire pivot, the controversies, the tensions. It all suggests a couple struggling to adapt to changing times. They exchanged centuries of tradition for a few years of global attention. Now, as that attention fades, the consequences are becoming clear. As Meghan watches her critics celebrate, she may be reflecting on whether the choices made were worth the cost. The world is watching closely. Narratives are being examined, and perceptions are shifting. How long can a brand survive on controversy alone? With financial pressures rising and the royal family moving forward without them, the Sussexes stand at a crossroads. Will they reinvent themselves, or continue down the same path until there's nothing left? One thing is certain: the world is watching, but they're not necessarily cheering anymore. They're waiting to see what happens when the betrayal finally comes full circle. The rise of Betrayal to the top of the charts is a clear signal that the mystery surrounding Meghan Markle is far from over. Whether she's planning a political run, building a new media empire, or making a billionaire pivot, the stakes have never been higher. Do you think the Duchess regrets her public war with critics? Or is this all part of a much larger plan we haven't seen yet? The shocking truth may be that the most controversial chapters of this story haven't even been written. For now, the royal dream seems to be unraveling, and the world is getting a front-row seat to the fallout. The question remains: what is the cost of freedom when it requires sacrificing the very legacy that made you famous? As the Sussexes navigate financial pressure and a loss of global standing, the shadow of the monarchy looms larger than ever. They wanted to be world-class celebrities on their own terms, but they're discovering that without the crown, the magic is difficult to sustain. It's a story of ambition, conflict, and the long-term consequences of choosing fame over duty. And as the Amazon charts show, it's a story the world isn't ready to stop reading just yet. The transition from the grand halls of Buckingham Palace to commercial ventures like Australian wellness retreats may represent one of the most visible shifts in modern celebrity culture. While Meghan Markle's team presents each move as progress, public reactions, from sales performance to online petitions, suggest a more complicated reality. They are no longer seen as the future of the monarchy. Instead, they are increasingly viewed as a cautionary tale for those who believe they can outrun the institution that once defined them. The struggle for relevance is becoming more apparent, and the strategies used to maintain it are under greater scrutiny. From sold-out claims questioned by TikTok users to reports about financial strain, the narrative is no longer fully under their control. Tom Bower has done what no PR firm could: shift the focus from perception to scrutiny, and the underlying situation appears straightforward. The Sussexes may be spending more than they earn, becoming more isolated, while the one figure who could potentially help, King Charles, faces complex decisions, particularly around events like Birmingham. As this chapter closes, it's worth remembering that in royal affairs, appearances can be deceiving. The fairy tale may have been the beginning, but the conflict is where the real story unfolds. Meghan Markle may be facing challenges today, but tomorrow presents another opportunity to reshape the narrative. Whether she succeeds or not, global attention remains firmly fixed. The billionaire strategy is being studied. The Australian ventures are underway, and past controversies continue to resurface in public conversation. The Sussexes are in a defining moment, and the Amazon charts may only be the beginning, because this story is still unfolding. The betrayal is real. The shock is global.